Yes, my name is Dries van Langenhove. I am from Brussels, Flanders in Belgium, and I am a nationalist activist. I also used to be the youngest member of Belgian Parliament, and in the past years I've mainly been an activist working on a European level for remigration and other things. So in 2017 I launched a youth movement, Schild en Vrienden, which rapidly became the biggest youth movement in the country. We gained about 900 members, became bigger on social media than many of the political parties, and we mainly did very positive actions, cleaning up litter, helping the elderly, helping the homeless and the poor, restoring our heritage, cleaning war graves, visiting museums, doing walks in nature. That's basically what we did, but a lot of our actions went viral and we became a threat to the regime. Because in our movement, people from all different parties spoke with each other. And for the first time, this cordon sanitaire, this agreement never to work with the far right, which pretty much prohibited any political change in Belgium, was breaking apart in our movement. And because of that, the regime started targeting us. They started trying to find dirt on me and on our movement. But because we were such a positive and very hopeful initiative, they couldn't find anything to use against us. And then they hired eventually a hacker who hacked into the accounts of a minor member of ours. He went into our private group chats and he started looking for dirt there. He couldn't really find anything, but after a while he found one thread in which a young guy during the exams, he said, we're all studying, I want to have a laugh, who has the edgiest meme? That's what he said, some challenge for an edgy meme. And then of course there were some young guys who responded to this with edgy memes. Then this journalist slash hacker, he took these memes out of their obviously humoristic context, he put them on national television and made this into a hit piece on us. Now that hit piece in itself was scandalous enough, it was criminal enough to do this to us, completely unjust. But what happened after is even more horrendous and crazy, because after that, the Belgian regime police, they launched a huge investigation, a huge witch hunt. They organized 20 house raids on me and all of the people around me. They did 50 interrogations and they even raided my house 3 separate times over the years. Now, after the first house raid, of course, I started complaining on social media about this terror that they were inflicting upon us. And if I say terror, I'm not even exaggerating. You have to know that the police, they broke into my home, into my bedroom, got me out of bed, and then they stole everything that I owned, all of my electronic equipment, my USB drives, hard drives, and they took all of my private messages, my private pictures, years worth of all of my life, basically. And they didn't just take that and go through it. No, they leaked everything deliberately, immediately to the leftist media who were very hostile to me. And they've been using all of this private information against me in the public media for years now. So it's really a form of terror that they are inflicting upon me. And I logically started complaining about this injustice, about this terror. And what they did then is even more crazy. They got into my home again, got me out of bed, locked me up in prison. And then they said, if you want your freedom again, you have to sign a gag order prohibiting me from talking about my case on social media and in the media. Now I had to sign this gag order to get out of prison, and then for years I was not able to talk about my case. Now luckily I am able to talk about it because the case is in court right now. But this judicial terror has been going on for 7 years now. It's cost me all of my time, my energy. I haven't been able to spend much time with my children. And now, of course, I also have had to spend 230,000 euros already. It's going up even more. So yeah, that's been very heavy the past 7 years. There's been many different legal cases against me. Now, as I said, they have been trying to find something to use against me for years. And now they found these memes that I didn't even post myself, just to be clear. They are trying to convict me for memes posted by others in a private group chat. But they have also at one point given me a 15,000 euro fine for so-called hiring an illegal bodyguard. That was obviously not true at all. I don't need a bodyguard. I can stand up for myself. But they were just pointing at an activist saying that one is a bodyguard and it's illegal to have a non-commissioned bodyguard in Belgium. So they fined me 15,000 euros. They're also trying to drag me in front of court because in one of my videos, I have my own media channel, and in one of my videos I was laughing with an article that was put out by the national television in which they said that over the past year pickpockets had increased something like 30% in the Brussels train stations, and then they used a picture of a white guy with red hair pickpocketing a wallet out of a woman's handbag. And I just, in one of my videos, I laughed at this and I said that the chance of you being pickpocketed by a white red-haired guy in a Brussels train station is close to zero. The chance, of course, of being pickpocketed by a Roma gypsy or by a Northern African, yeah, that chance is a little bit higher. And then for that, for example, they are trying to convict me for incitement of hatred. Another case, and I can go on for hours, another case where they are dragging me for court. I was there, for this case I was in court 2 weeks ago, is about a university employee of Ghent University who was doxing several of our members, and one of our members allegedly, as a kind of a funny revenge, allegedly sent an adult diaper test package to this university employee who was doxing us. And now the police and the Justice Department have labeled this adult diaper as a hidden death threat. And they say that I'm complicit in this death threat. So all of these cases are ludicrous. They're completely crazy. And most of them I win, of course. But the reality is that this costs me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy. And in this way, they have been able to put me on the defensive for 7 years. And I am not a defensive guy. I want to be on the offensive. I want to fight for our people, for our civilization, for remigration. That's what I want to do. But by doing all of this lawfare, they've put me on the defensive for a long time. And they know that if they can put me in prison, or if they can silence me by giving me, for example, house arrest and an internet ban, then in reality they will make an example out of me to scare everyone into submission. A lot of people are angered by government censorship, but the real threat here is not the government censorship itself, it's the self-censorship that is a result of this government censorship. If they send me to prison, then millions of other young men, especially in Flanders, will self-censor themselves. And not only young men, I'm talking about people in general here. They will self-censor themselves and they will, every time that they send a message or that they send an image, they will think, oh, should I send this? I may end up going to prison for it. And moreover, more dangerously, it's not only self-censorship, it's also a form of self-disassociation, if I may say so. What they are doing by sending me to jail for memes that were posted by someone else is they are sending a message to all of the people in Belgium that if you associate with people who may at some point tell the truth, who may at some point make an edgy joke, that you yourself may also go to prison. So that way they are pushing everyone away from each other. They are stopping us from organizing, from working together in a movement, in a coordinated way, because people are going to become afraid of each other. We have skipped a few steps on the road to a communist dystopia, basically. Well, it's horrible. As I said, I am a European, I am a father. I want to build something. I want to leave something for my children. I want to leave a legacy. And for the past 7 years, I've been on the defensive. I've been trying to slow down the destruction instead of building. I want to build European civilization. I want to build my family. I want to build my movement, my companies. I have a media company. I have boxing clubs where I try to make the European youth strong and resilient again, because we believe in putting our words into action, not just complaining that the European youth is weak. No, we literally build our own boxing clubs, and we try to get as many people active in those boxing clubs. When we complain, we don't just complain about leftist mainstream media lying all the time. No, we built our own media channel, our own professional recording studio where we broadcast videos for millions of people. So we try to really get action. Action is the antidote to despair. But of course, sometimes I feel despair. Sometimes I'm very frustrated. I am exhausted, stressed. The uncertainty is a very heavy load to bear. I cannot make any plans for the future. I may be in prison in a few weeks. I may be under house arrest with an internet ban. My companies, my projects, they will collapse if I am no longer able to get on the internet. So the uncertainty for my family as well is very heavy. If you are attacked by leftist mainstream media for years on end with information that was stolen from your private home by police, the results are horrible. The frustration, the anger that this breeds, it's horrible, really. There's many possibilities. I still hope, of course, that due to the international pressure, because Belgian media have this pact that they will never allow me to speak in the Belgian media, but I've been able to speak in American, only in the past weeks, American, Swedish, Swiss, Dutch. I was on Dutch national television a few hours ago, so I've been able to speak to many international broadcasting agencies, news stations, and I hope that this international pressure put on the Belgian regime will make it so that they are too scared to put me in prison for memes, that the reputation damage will be too much for the Belgian regime. That's of course my hope, but in reality I think that they will put me either into prison or either into house arrest with an internet ban. The results would be the same, really. And I think perhaps a house arrest is more likely because they will try to calm public opinion. Even in Belgium, even with this media boycott surrounding me, even in Belgium, most of the people support me. They think it's horrible what's happening to me. And I think to try to calm them down, they will say, okay, we're not sending him to prison. It's just a house arrest. Now, the results is the same because my projects, my activism will cease to exist if I am no longer able to do my activism, to go on the internet, to do these international meetings. The result is the same. They will have silenced the biggest political dissident in the country. Well, Belgium has been convicted for their horrible treatment of prisoners many times over the past years. And it's pretty much, for most people, it's a gamble. If you end up in one of the newer prisons, like Bruges, Ghent, or Dendermonde, these prisons are high-end, they're quite new. That's okay. But if you end up in some of the prisons in Antwerp or Brussels, it's horrible. You have to sleep in a prison cell for 2 people. With 6 people, you have a bucket to do your human waste disposal, if I can say it that way. There's cockroaches, rats, bed bugs everywhere. It's horrible, really. The country itself, the state, has been convicted for this time and again. And I fear, if I look at Belgian regime's track record when it comes to me, the terror that they deliberately inflicted upon me and my family, I fear that they will put me in one of these prisons. Now, I'm not afraid of being put into prison per se, but I am afraid of being put in prison and not being able to get out again. Because the Belgian regime has a lot of tricks up on its sleeve. They can bend every law, bend every rule in the rule book to be able to keep me in prison. They will find or prop up new charges and give me more sentences and then keep me in prison for a long time. And that is something that I fear. The uncertainty that we have to deal with is horrible. I cannot make any plans for the future. I cannot plan any trips. I cannot make any professional agreements, do any family reunions, because I may be in prison quite soon. I have young children that I may not be able to see in the coming year. For my wife, I'm constantly focused on the battle. I'm constantly energized and motivated, like the fire burning inside of me. It's burning heavier than ever before, even though I have a fever at the moment. I'm sick because of the exhaustion, but still I keep going. This battle constantly occupies my mind. But my family, my wife, the people around me, of course they are scared of my fate. Of course they are scared of what the Belgian regime could do to me, especially when they put me into prison. So that's a very heavy load to bear for a young family, yes. Well, there's 2 ways of supporting me, really. I already said so. I think the only real solution for my case, but actually also for Europe as a whole, is international pressure. We need all of the people that watch this video or any other video to share my story. It has to be known to the world that political activists, even those who have done nothing wrong at all, I have not broken any of the laws, not even these silly hate speech laws, even those laws I have never broken in my life, and yet I am being sent to prison. So my story should be shared worldwide. And even if it cannot help me, then still it may help other political dissidents who face the same fate as me. So this international pressure is very important. And then secondly, of course, I've already said so, people cannot give me more hours in a day, but they can give me more money to fight. My lawyers are expensive. I have a lot of costs to bear. I have spent more than 230,000 euros already, and if I lose, it will go up enormously more. And then, of course, I will continue the fight. Even if I have to do it from prison, I will go and appeal this sentence. I will go to the European Courts of Human Rights, but that will take years and a lot more money to continue this fight. So yes, people can support me via my crowdfunding, givesendgo.com/Dries, or look at the link on my X profile. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't pity me. I don't need that. It's not necessary. I'd say more. I very often feel sorry for people who think they feel sorry for me. And don't misunderstand me. My life sometimes is miserable. It's sometimes very frustrating, very exhausting. I may be in prison in 2 weeks, but still I am very happy at the thought that when I am older, I will be able to look my children and my grandchildren in the eye and tell them that I did everything within my power to make sure that this chain of generations is not stopping with my generation, that this chain of generations becomes stronger than ever before, that the lands of our ancestors remain the lands of our descendants. I will be able to tell my children that, and that is of the utmost importance. I wish for everyone to be able to say the same. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm not going to be sad about any of it. Even if it ends up in prison, I'm proud of what I accomplished, and I wish for a lot of people to feel that same pride. Of course it's worth it. This is the most important fight. And even if you're a defeatist and you think there is no light at the end of the tunnel, we're not going to make it, European civilization is doomed, then the fight itself is the light. This is what we must do. All of the other jobs are less important. All of the other jobs exist solely to support this job of saving Western civilization, of saving European culture, of saving our people. There is nothing more important than that. And if you can say at the end of your life that you did everything to help in this struggle, then I think you will have lived a good and meaningful life.